Hi guys! Today I'm going to show you how to do some painting using food coloring. So instead of using your watercolors, now you could use your watercolors and do the same type of thing as this, but what we're going to use are food colors and make a really fun painting using that. And then with this one, I've actually already drawn a picture on here before I started. So I will show you a little bit of that, and let's get started. Before we get started painting, I want to start with, you either want to have some sort of like a baking dish, the sheet pan, or at the very least a nice pile of napkins, paper towels, in order to set below your piece of paper that you're going to be painting on. So that way it will contain any mess. You might even keep the paper towels and then set that inside of a dish. This is going to help keep it contained so that way you don't have a mess going all over the place. So we can do that, like I said, or even a sheet pan. If you don't have those type of things, at least the paper towels, some newspaper, even just a regular kitchen towel, something so that way you don't have a mess all over your counter. I'm using some just basic primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. Mix some water with some of the food colors and got those prepared so that way we are ready to go with our colors. If you'd like to draw something on your paper, you can do so. You can take a regular marker, permanent marker, Sharpie, a writing pen, any kind of pen will work, and draw or doodle anything that you would like on your page. Now I am using a little bit thicker paper. It's not as thick as a watercolor paper. It's a multimedia paper, so it can handle a bit of water. If you're using regular printer paper, it might end up getting more ripply from the water. It just doesn't absorb as much. So, you know, just take that into consideration. And then just have fun. If you want to make anything on your page, if you don't have to. We can just start with adding the colors without having to do any kind of doodling on the page. So I'm just gonna do that real quick, just a little something. Remember, this was our example originally. First thing I'm gonna do is bring the colors close to you and just start dripping them on. So you might have to do this a couple times, because what's going to happen is it will get kind of a faded look, and if you want a little brighter look, you might go back and add more color. Make the heart red. Yellow. I don't normally want it. Oops, see how I made a mess, but I've got my towel here, so it's going to absorb it, which is a good reason why we might also put the extra pan underneath to help protect what we're doing. Okay, you might also start with the lighter colors like the yellow and then move to the others, just so that you don't end up getting those colors in there. So like, I don't want to get the blue into the yellow, because if it falls in there, then you're going to end up with a green color in there instead of the yellow. So try to be careful not to really spill too much of the other colors into the bowls. So you can kind of move it around. And then if you want, at this point, you can kind of come back and just lightly, very gently, just add some colors around on the page. Okay, I've let this dry for a little while so that you can see how this looks after it's dried for a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and add a little bit more. I have placed the tray underneath with the paper towels, just so you can see that might be a little better set up. And you actually, I know earlier we started with pulling the paper up and dripping it on. What you could do just to keep it a little simpler is just leave it lying down on here and then just move it around as needed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and just kind of put a few dabs of color throughout the picture. And if I leave this like I'm doing here, what it's going to do is create these type of little splatter spots all over. So I'm going to do that with all the colors. And some of them might mix a little. Yellow, oop, actually didn't mean to get quite so much there, but we'll see how that turns out later. A little bit more in the middle there. Okay, so I'm going to leave this and I'm going to let this dry, and then we'll come back and see how it looks after a while. So I had some of the color still on there and poured it off. You can also just let it dry completely. Might be something that you would want to do maybe at night before bed and then let dry completely overnight. But here is our almost finished piece. Still a few wet spots that will finish drying on here. So yeah. Maybe at night do this as kind of a relaxation, kind of just playing with colors. Maybe before dinner you start it, put some colors on, let them dry, and then come back and add more color, go to bed, wake up in the morning, and see what has happened while you've been sleeping. And what colors have mixed. See some of the yellow and blues made green, got some orange here from the red and the yellow. Don't have too much purple, but there's a little purple from the red and the blue. So have fun. See what you can make. Got really simple ingredients: water, food color, paper, pen if you want to draw a picture on there, splatter colors. Make sure you have a good place that you can keep things clean so you don't have a huge mess all over your kitchen or dining table. And here's my other one that I made, and this one. Alright, I'll talk to you guys soon. Happy art making!